Hi everyone, welcome to Win My Vote. Win My Vote is a free, online, interactive, personal voter guide. Here's how it works. As a voter, I can sign up with just an email address or a social media account, and without entering any personal information, just a zip code, I can get my own online, interactive sample ballot for the upcoming election. So for this demo, I'll use the most recent presidential election. So I live in San Francisco, California, so I use 94116, and that places me in specific voting districts. And if there's any conflict or overlap, or if I happen to be in two different districts, if my zip code encompasses two different districts, then there's maps and there's some resource links on the sign-up page so I can identify the correct district. And with that, I can get my entire ballot from the national level down to the state level races, into the congressional districts, state senate and state assembly districts, and then down into the county level offices, as well as the city, board of supervisors, even my local school board. And sorry about that. That's how you favorite a candidate, by the way, to plan to vote for them. That was from the last demo. I can also see all the propositions on my ballot, as well as all the local measures. And with those, I can click on a proposition. I can read the actual language of the proposition. I can see groups and organizations and individuals that are supporting the proposition and those that are opposing the proposition. And I can also click through and watch videos or written arguments for or against.
When does temporary mean temporary? Well, it doesn't here in California when it comes to money and taxes.
And with that, I can then select yes or no. And then when I go back to my ballot, you'll see here that it's indicated that I'm going to vote no on that. I can also see looks like there's 13% that are voting yes, 7% that are voting no, and 80% that are still undecided. The candidate races function much the same. I can click on a candidate's profile. I can learn a little bit about the candidate. I can also hear directly from the candidate.
Because it's your time, and I hope you'll join me on this journey.
And I can go back to my ballot, and I can click on the next candidate. I can learn about each one of these candidates.
I'm Gary Johnson, candidate for President of the United States, and I approve this message.
I'm Governor Gary Johnson.
I'm Governor Bill Weld.
I'm running for president.
I'm running with him.
As the governor of New Mexico, I vetoed wasteful spending 750 times, cut taxes 14 times, and left the...
I can also see groups and organizations and individuals that support or that have endorsed this candidate. And if they have a video, I can click right through to that.
Congratulations on the book. A lot to delve into. Thanks. And we'll get to the book in just a moment. Sure. But I want to ask you about what happened this morning with Gary Johnson.
And then with that, if I decide I want to vote for this candidate, I simply click on their star, and then when I go back to my ballot, you can see that his nameplate's turned green. He's now in the first position. And again, the percentage has changed a little bit. And these are percentages of favorites that are on this ballot. So I can kind of track my candidate, and the candidate can also see these so they can monitor sort of how they're doing in the polls. There's a lot of other features here. I can check on my voter registration status. I can find my polling place. I can look at just basic, important dates leading up to the election, like when early voting starts and where it's located. I can also add this ballot to my calendar here, and I can get reminders. I can print out my ballot once it's finished, and I want to just maybe print it out and walk into the polling place with it. Again, I can share with friends. There's lots of features that I can do, but I think the most important, part of this is that I can go down to races like local school board, and I can see each one of the candidates and hear each one of the candidates.
We live across the street from an elementary school, but the district's assignment process doesn't care. Even though our schools are more segregated today than decades ago, many families...
And again, I can check on some other issues that he's posted.
Did you know that we have a teacher shortage in San Francisco?
And with that, if I decide to vote for Ian here, I can click on his star, and again, when I go back to my ballot, you can see that it's nice and prominent there. It makes it really easy to access from my cell phone or a tablet. or any mobile internet-enabled device. One of the other features that I really like is what's called My Trusted Sources. And these are groups and organizations and individuals that you want to know about who they're voting for, who they're endorsing, what propositions or measures or initiatives they're supporting, and which ones they're opposing. So for example, let's say if I follow the AFL-CIO, I can type that in, and I can look at their group page. I can hear, a message directly from them.
Hi, I'm Rich Trumpka, president of the AFL-CIO. Andy Pudzer is a terrible choice to lead the Department of Labor.
And, again, I can see some other issues that they may have here. And I have already added them as a trusted source, but if I didn't, there'd be a star right here with a little patch where I can add them. So for this demo, I'll find a group that I haven't added yet. Okay, so here's a group, California Forward. And again, I don't know that much about them, so I want to learn a little bit.
From the birth of the silver screen to trailblazing pioneers in Silicon Valley, California is home to industries that have transformed the American and global economies. We are a state of idealists and entrepreneurs innovating our way into the future. But for some, the promise of the future is slipping away, and we don't have to look far to see it.
Okay, and let's say I say, great, these guys sound good. I want to know more about them. I want to see what propositions or measures or initiatives they're supporting or which ones they're against. So I can click here, which is add them to my trusted sources. So now when I'm on my ballot, and whether I'm looking through candidate profiles, I can see the groups and organizations that are endorsing this candidate. I can also get a picture of them all together here. And I can also see groups and organizations for all of the propositions. So you can see here, this is where California Forward would be if they were supporting Proposition 52 or voting against Proposition 52. So Win My Vote is free to voters. It's also free to groups and organizations to create group pages, make endorsements, reach out to all of your members, tell your members to select you as a trusted source, and you can even use Win My Vote as sort of your own online interactive voter guide for your members. And you can talk with us directly. We're rolling out some new features for groups where you'll get some internal data on the people that have selected you, and here you'll see the display is a percentage of votes. You can actually get the vote count. Hope that helps. For candidates, candidates are $100 per election to create a profile and be on an active ballot. So candidates, you can create a profile for free. When you go on to an active ballot, it's $100 per election. So if the election's in a couple of weeks, it's $100. If it is in 2 years from now, it's still $100. So it's actually $99. Hope that helps. There's other videos here, or how the site works, where you can look through some more detailed videos for groups, how to build a group page and how to make an endorsement and those types of things. Hope to see you up here. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email us at either voter, groups, or candidates at winmyvote.com. So if you're a voter, do voters at winmyvote.com, etc. Or feel free to call us at 415-867-9554. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.